Hey, welcome. Today, we are going to build the ultimate secret weapon for your school assignments, a 5-step blueprint that will help you crush any essay every single time. So let's dive right in.
You know the feeling, right? That blinking cursor on a blank page. It's like it's mocking you. The deadline is getting closer, and you can just feel that stress building up. Well, we've all been there. But what if I told you there's a system, a way to beat that blank page for good?
Here it is. This is our game plan. 5 simple, manageable steps. Think of it like you're building a house. First, we'll lay the foundation. Then we'll draw up the blueprint. After that, we get to the actual build. We'll add a special argumentative twist. And finally, we'll do the polish to make it perfect. Okay, first things first. Before you type a single word, you have to lay the foundation. This is probably the most critical decision you'll make in the whole process, and it all starts with really understanding what you're being asked to do. So, what's your job here? Are you a teacher or are you a lawyer? It really comes down to that. If it's an expository essay, your goal is to inform. You're the expert teacher, objectively explaining a topic. But if it's an argumentative essay, your goal is to persuade. Now you're the expert lawyer, taking a stand and proving your case. Knowing which role you're playing changes everything. All right, our foundation is set. We know our purpose. Now comes what I think is the most important part, creating the blueprint. Seriously, the work you put in right here, before you start writing paragraphs, is what's going to make or break your essay. You need to become a detective for a minute. Pull out that prompt and dissect it. I mean, literally highlight the key verbs. Is it telling you to explain, analyze, or argue? And pay attention. Is there more than one question packed in there? You've got to know exactly what they're asking before you can even think about answering. Now for a little magic trick. It's called TTQA, which stands for Turn the Question Around. This is your secret weapon for a killer thesis statement. It's so simple, but it's so powerful. It basically guarantees your entire essay stays on topic and directly answers the prompt. And here's exactly how it works. The prompt asks a simple question. Your TTQA thesis turns that question into a strong statement. But look, it doesn't just say yes, it answers why. Boom! To promote equality and reduce distractions. You just created the roadmap for your entire essay in a single sentence. Now, this is super important. Let's talk about balance. When you're using research, remember this 80-20 rule. Your teacher wants to hear your voice, your analysis. The sources and quotes, they're just the backup. They should only be about 20% of the paper. The other 80%, that's all you. And let's be crystal clear about this one. You have to, you must cite your sources every time. It doesn't matter if it's the author's name or the source number. If you don't give credit, it's plagiarism. That's just a fancy word for stealing ideas, and it is the fastest way to fail. Just don't do it. Okay, the foundation is solid. The blueprint is drawn. Now it's time for the fun part, construction. We're going to take that plan and start building this essay, piece by piece. Pretty much every great essay follows this timeless structure. Your intro needs to hook the reader, and then lay out your thesis. Tell them where you're going. The body paragraphs are where you deliver the evidence. You bring the receipts. And the conclusion, you wrap it all up, restate your main point, and leave the reader with something to think about. And this is a huge one. Please never, ever just drop a quote and walk away. That's not writing. You have to elaborate. Give the evidence, sure, but then your job is to explain why it's evidence. Connect the dots for your reader. Constantly remind them how this piece of proof supports your big idea. And while you're building, remember, this is formal academic writing. So no contractions like don't. Write out do not. Keep the slang for your text. And you can skip phrases like I believe or in my opinion. Your whole essay is your opinion. Your evidence is what makes it strong. And definitely use transition words to make sure the whole thing flows smoothly. All right, if you're writing an argumentative essay, listen up. It's time to go from good to great. This is the next level move that will make your argument so much stronger. We're going to talk about the counterclaim. Think of it like a pro-debate move. It's where you actually bring up the other side's argument. You say, hey, I know what you're thinking, you present their point fairly, and then you show exactly why it's wrong. It sounds a little crazy, but by showing you understand the opposition, you actually make your own case way more convincing. And you don't have to start from scratch. Use these phrases as a launchpad. They're perfect for introducing the other side's point of view before you, tear it apart. Something like, although some may think, or it may be true, however, perfectly signals to your reader what you're about to do. We've done it.
The essay is built, it's standing, but we're not quite done. This last step, the polish, is what's going to take your paper from a B to an A. This is where you make it shine.
Okay, it is so important to understand that revising and editing are two totally different things. Revising is the big picture stuff. Does it all make sense? Does it flow well? A great trick here is to read your essay out loud. You'll hear the clunky sentences right away. Then you put on your editor hat. This is for the small details: spelling, grammar, commas. The pro tip for editing? Read it backwards, sentence by sentence. It forces your brain to see each sentence individually and catch mistakes.
And finally, the last little quality control check. Don't lose easy points on stuff like this. Make sure you've got the right font, the right spacing. For your works cited page, use a hanging indent. That's where the first line of the entry is on the margin and the rest are indented. And please, take out the blue underlining from any web links. These little details really matter. So there you have it, the full blueprint, from the very first thought to the final polish. The next time you sit down to write, you're not just facing a blank page anymore. You're an architect. You've got a plan. So the only real question is, what amazing thing are you going to build?